Good morning. It's about 5 a.m. and I'm back in Danes Dyke. Beautiful still morning. I may not even be updating this because we're just having a walk today. I'm just backtracking a little bit now because I can smell an animal. And I don't mean anything strange apart from I can smell an animal. A dead animal, to be honest with you. And I've just been looking and I can't, come Bob, I've got him on his lead, I can't see any evidence of it, but it's here. The smell is kind of wafting up and it's strong. Don't know whether you'd smell it later in the day, if that makes sense. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. There's a deer. I don't know if you can see that, and it doesn't look like it's been dead that long. It's getting down there to inspect it. Poor animal. And what's done that then, we wonder. Come here, Bob. Come here. Come here. Round this way. Round this way. But I'm going to turn camera off and get a bit closer, but it's a bit steep, look. Okay, so I've got a little bit closer. I don't want to go too far with dog. You can see that this is a bit of a drainage hole. Got to get back up it yet, but this deer's been eaten from back end, I'm sorry to say. And I'm not certain, but because I'm not going down there, it's deep. But I think there's another one further down. Give up, Bob. See if I can make my way back up here now. What I've got to ask myself is, I've got little dog on a lead because I don't want him going near it. Come on, up there. And I'm going back up here with a camera in my hand because I just want to film for you guys. Oh. Come on. How do I manage it? I don't think I've dropped out. Got my car keys, got my phone, and unfortunate deer. And I do think there's another one further down. I could just smell them as I walk past. I'm sure if I smelt them, other people will. And it's an unmistakable smell. Do I think the cat that's been seen in the dyke is responsible? I can't say. So how does an animal in prime of its life come to such a sorry end? And although we've got nothing to suggest anything sinister, you know, strange things do happen in this location. You've just got to be looking in the right place. So a small early morning walk in Danes Dyke proved quite uneventful as far as the unexplained is concerned. But, however, we did see a deer kill. I don't know how else it could have got there. Cars travel down this road very slowly. The speed humps, so I don't really think, you know, it's been hit by a car that's gone speeding down this road. And it had been eaten from the back end. I didn't have anything with me, no gloves or anything, so I weren't going to turn it over. And I could have seen evidence, if I had have done, of more wounds. But it's not a matter of Paul missing a trick. It's more a matter of I was on quite a steep incline. I've got a camera in my hand and a little dog. And I didn't feel like doing it. As I say, I think there's two down there. So we'll make our way back to the car now. get on with rest of the day. So it's a week or so since I found the 3 deer in this ravine, and it's only a little cut where water's cut in, so we're not talking about anything really deep, but there were 3. They've gone. I suppose it's possible council have moved them. I could only get down to 1 of them, but they've gone. So what animal would kill 3 deer in here and absolutely no sign of them whatsoever? Well, it's raining now, so I'm not going to be walking down there with dog. It's bad enough covered in sludge every time I go back. We are absolutely making it worse. But we'll just continue down here because I was contacted by a man called Andrew yesterday. And that's what's prompted me to come to Danes Dyke this morning. As I say, it's about 5:30 AM. And still beautiful, even if it's raining. It's just great to be out. So I'm going to descend down into Dyke. As you can hear, it's starting to rain, but it's just great, so I'm not bothered. And look at that. Everything will soon be dying back. Everything will soon be sort of a little bit sparse because these trees probably, so it seems so quick that we've got to winter. I'll stop filming for a while. I'll probably pick this up in a bit, because I'm going to talk about what Andrew, who contacted me only yesterday, claims his wife heard whilst walking along this very path. So it was a few weeks ago, Louise,
yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. I was walking around, I was taking photographs.
Right.
And sending them to my friend. She's an artist and she paints trees. So I wasn't like paying attention to what was going on, apart from taking photographs of the trees. And my husband Andy he got a bit further away from me because I kept stopping to take photographs. And it's as we came round here, and I think it's this tree here.
Really?
There was just sort of it was hard to describe what the noise was, like a grunting, but like our horse snorts as well, but too quick together, and it just freaked me out.
Yeah. And well, I should imagine, I mean, because I didn't know if you knew prior to this, but there's been reports of a cat in this area of the dyke. It's been seen. It was seen by some golfers, literally probably 200 yards away from where we are now. So it's fascinating that you've heard this noise. So how did you put 2 and 2 together? And I don't mean decide it was a cat, but potentially it could have been. I obviously could give you a commentary on this and retell it myself, but it seems pretty pointless. So it's this tree?
Yeah, it was. Well, I was at this tree when I heard the noise.
Right.
And I just remember just thinking, well, there's no sort of bushes or anything to sort of hide anything there. So whether it projected across this ravine, I'm not sure, but it was definitely here. And say Andy, my partner, was further up there.
It's fascinating, and on kind of on the back of the. Come on, dog. On the back of these accounts and stories that people have been giving me, you're not on your own, are you? Do you know what I mean? And I suppose there's a bit of comfort in that, because I don't know about you, but where do you put yourself when trying to talk about things like this that really aren't supposed to be here? I noticed in the comments when I put a short up about this cat that somebody said I wouldn't be hunting them. Nobody's hunting them. I've got a little dog that weighs about as much as a bag of sugar, and I'm interested in catching evidence that these things are actually here, because so many people report seeing them that I think it's only fair that I think I need to come out and just capture a little bit of evidence of them. And if anybody thinks that we're going to actually capture this thing or somehow find evidence of where it's laid up, I don't particularly think we are. I think it's that elusive, or they are. However, I am going to keep looking.
Well, when I caught up with Andy, I asked him if he'd made the noise because I thought he was just messing, but he was too far ahead. And I just had to get out of this bit. I didn't want to stay here any longer as soon as I heard it.
It made you feel uncomfortable?
It did.
So I'll continue walking along here, retracing Andy's wife's steps. Now there's prints down there. That's interesting. And I need to see if I can get down there to have a look at them, because that's a great place to actually find some evidence. But I want to go along here. I mean, if we don't find any evidence in the form of prints, let's not detract from the fact that something is killing the deer, killing the badger and killing the foxes. And if it's not a cat, then what is it? Now, you hear those birds? That's telling me that something is upsetting them. Something's here, because those blackbirds do not make that sound if they're not alarmed by something. So I'll put the thermal back on.
Wasn't sure what it was, but it just somehow didn't feel right. And I just felt like we needed to get out of this bit, so we went to the end and back up onto the road.
Steady.
When we got home, Andy had seen your blog about the cat on the golf course.
Listen to that. That's not just one bird, that's a whole group of them. And you'll get blackbirds creating and making a noise if anything's near their nests. But they're not nesting now, it's August, or they've just about done. And it's not just one bird. Something's letting the woodland know that something is here. Everything you've said, Louise, is really plausible, and it helps me no end when I'm doing things like this and taking these reports from people, that you've been good enough to share this account, and obviously whoever's listening can hear it in the full context of what's being told, and you're not adding or taking anything away. So no. As far as I'm concerned, thank you very much.
That's okay, you're welcome.
It's the presence of something. I'm not saying it's a cat, but there's something upsetting them. And you may remember a few months ago I was talking about a big cat that had been seen in area, and that I'd found roe deer in this cutting, in this little cutting here. I can't remember the exact date, but today's the 19th of September. Well, a few months ago I filmed one roe deer in this cutting, and when I put the camera further down there was a second one and a third one a little bit deeper. Well, as I've just said, it's the 19th of September. Come here for a little impromptu walk, and there's another one. But since last filming them, people have thrown rubbish into this cutting. So there's one just down there, look. Can you see that? And there could even be another one lower down, I don't know. I'm reluctant to go down with dog, but you know what I'm like, so I'm going to go down there and have a look. Okay, thank you. And as you can see, it's marked up on its face. That could be where it's just come straight over top here if it's been chased or something. And its back leg is snapped, as you can see there. It's not very old. It's not been dead long at all. It's such a shame. But the mystery for me is that's 4 in 6 to 8 weeks in this ravine. So I'm going to make my way back up there now, if I can do it without breaking my own leg. I've come to the other side at cutting to give you a perspective of what we're looking at. It's over there. You probably can't see it, but you can see it's quite deep. And to find one is unusual, But that's 4 now in 8 weeks. I would say that's highly unusual. And in the same location. And it's pretty inaccessible. So what's responsible? I don't know. So what's responsible for the deer deaths in the dike? Do you know, I'm even more baffled now than before. I'm absolutely certain that there's enough evidence to support a cat being here, in the form of prints, in the form of wildlife kills that look like they've been predated on by a cat, and the sightings. Let's not forget the sightings, because they're the most important thing, even if it's anecdotal. But 6 to 8 weeks ago I found 3 deer in a cutting just up there, and I've just shown you guys another one in the same cutting, but this time it's got no signs of any type of predation. So I just don't understand it. Doesn't look like it's been caught in a snare or caught by dogs. The chances of it jumping down there and breaking a leg, I suppose there's that possibility. But if that's the case, what a coincidence that there was another 3 6 to 8 weeks previous. So it remains open. I really don't know. Is it something to do with true unexplained phenomena? Is it natural? Natural would be a big cat, even though they're not native to the UK. But would we really find four carcasses in the space of 6 to 8 weeks in the same location? I don't know. You don't know either. And you're never going to get a better hunting dog than this. Are you? Listen, Bob, I don't know. We haven't got an answer to it, mate, have we? So I'm going to leave it there for now. We may reconnect if we find anything else, but if we don't, for truth proof, thank you very much. Press the like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.